Okay, Sarah, look this way. Do you see a line of large stones?
I do.
You do.
I do.
You look this way, and what do you see?
A line of large stones.
It's a wall.
Yeah.
So we're at the wall of, you can call it a village, or you can call it a city. I've hiked to the far opposite side where you overlook the valley of Elah, where David and Goliath fought. That's where we are. And I can tell you the whole area has ruins from that ancient time.
Oh, wow.
Always, 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 you build wall cities on hills. You don't put it in a valley.
That's
You
true.
want your enemy to have to fight uphill. An uphill battle, that's a phrase we use in America. It's an uphill battle. And of course, if we turn around and look out this valley. So we're on a hill, and the wall all the way around is on the brim of that hill with the city within. That's how it always is. Okay, Sarah, that's where we were. Khirbet Qeiyafa. Now, what does that mean? When you say Khirbet, it actually simply means ruin. It means you have what's a tell, but a tell we think of as several layers. In this case, we use that term because it's usually only one or two layers. And that's an important spot because there was a denial that the Jews were in this area in the 10th century when David was supposed to be king. That was one of the proofs there was no King David at one time. And then this area began to be excavated. We now know that that village, with a wall around the village, was there in at least the 10th century, maybe the 11th century, maybe even the 12th century BC. In other words, and they know that it was not Canaanite, it was Jewish.
Okay.
And so we know that in the days of David, when he became king, we have Jewish towns in Israel. Yep, they had to have a wall. The Philistines are not too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bethlehem is right there. You go towards those hills and you're in Bethlehem. And so you can see what's going to happen. Gath is going to be right there to the west. Bethlehem east, Gath west. Their armies come. One's on this hill over here. One's on this hill over here. And here is where the battle took place between David and Goliath. And of course you know what happened. David won. The Philistines are now our hero. And David cuts off his head. They're running for their lives towards Gath. The Israelites begin pursuing. And they're going to chase them all the way to Gath. And so this is when, under Saul, they began getting rid of that power of the Philistines over their nation, which is just now, in effect, a new nation. At least they have a new king. And Saul is delighted with David. He makes him a bodyguard. He puts him in charge of a military unit in time. And David is successful wherever he goes. And pretty soon the women are going to sing, Saul has killed his thousands, and David his tens of thousands.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yep.
Saul cannot handle that.
Yep, that's true.
You know, when we focus on ourselves, we cannot be happy. We cannot be happy. The key to happiness, in part, is to focus on other people. Forget about ourselves. Focus on others. And of course, as Hans Selye, the father of stress research, says, the single most important thing to reduce stress, to be happy, is to have purpose in life. When we recognize our purpose, when we recognize we're here to honor God and do good, bear fruit, be salt, be light, boy, it brings peace.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, let's go down to the stream. Okay, this is the stream.
This is the stream?
This is the stream.
It looks like a path. It doesn't look like a stream at all.
Hold it. I told you it's going to be dry. We're here in the fall. We have to wait for the rains that come in November and December and January and February. By March, the rains have begun to decrease.
Wow.
By the end of March, almost no rain. In April, dry. And so that's why we time our trips. Usually I'm here in April because I don't want rain. Yes, it's cheaper to fly to Israel in November. Yes, not so much around Christmas. In January and February and March. Yes, I understand it's cheaper then. But you want to be here when it's not raining on you. Now, you're surprised because you said it's dry, but will you please look with me for a moment? Why is there a large bridge right there? There's the highway. Why is there a bridge there?
I mean, I guess the water passes.
So the water can get through. That's exactly right. You get a big rain. We have hills on either side. This is the low point. Where's that water going to go?
It's going to go down here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's dry right now, but it's not dry after a big rain.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's like a path, really.
Yeah, right now it does look like a path. It does look like a path. You're right. So, okay. Let us find a stone and talk about these stones. Okay. Okay, let me just drop that down my notes there. Okay. Okay, that's a
That
better
one actually looks better.
Yeah, that's a better one. Okay.
Good job, Sarah.
Yeah, good job, Sarah. You found a stone. Now let me tell you, that's not an ideal stone. It needs to be really round because you don't want it to curve when it's come out of your sling, but it is a hard stone. This is barium sulfate.
Okay.
These stones are not like what we might find in another part of the country or where we live. This stone is more dense, and so it can fly and hit hard and penetrate.
So why is it so hard?
It's what it's made out of. It's barium sulfate. It's the chemicals that make up the stones here.
Is that only found here?
No, it's not only found here, but these stones are particularly dense and hard.
I see.
Yeah, they are. I want to make a point about what happened here. I want to share my conviction. My conviction is that God uses the skills that we develop. Some people grow up with a natural personality where they're kind of moody, not very happy. Can that be changed?
Hopefully, yes.
I
think
believe it can be changed.
Yeah.
We're commanded to be joyful always. If God had not known that we could be joyful always, He wouldn't have commanded it. And I think He uses the skills we have that may have been developed with much effort and God's blessing to allow us to do more good, to bear more fruit. What's your skill? I'll tell you what your skill is. You are joyful, you smile all the time, you're pleasant to be with, and you're a dental hygienist. And I guarantee that after you work with someone for the first time, they think, I like her. I want to go back there again. I think I need to have my teeth cleaned again. I know it's just been 5 days, but I think I need to have my teeth cleaned again. So I think that's the way it was with David.
I see.
He had a sling. Remember, he was a shepherd. He had used it over and over. I bet during the day he practiced year in, year out, and he got so good he could hit a fine bullseye on a target because he did it all the time. He didn't just sit there and watch. I think he was up working with the sheep, and because he knew it was important to be accurate, to be a good shepherd, he was probably doing that all the time.
He was developing that skill.
Developing that skill. And so God took his skill and right here put it to use to do a miracle. Ready? Sarah, let me pick up my notes. I want to share one. It's not the only passage I could share, but just make the point that with a sling, you can do much good. This is from 2 Chronicles 26. Uzziah had a well-trained army. Now listen to what it says. Uzziah provided shields, spears, helmets, coats of armor, bows, and sling stones. Sling stones for the entire army. Did you know that you could throw a stone out of a sling farther than an arrow could go?
No,
There's
I
a
had
lot
no
of
idea.
power in a Sloan. Sloan? What's that?
Sling.
Throne.
Yeah, stone. Okay. Okay, double takes, you know. Okay, the video with all mistakes and everything.
That was
you know.
our Arkansas version.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, yeah, we have to, yeah, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Now, okay, I might do that too, that's funny. Okay. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay. What are you laughing at?
You just said like 10 okays in a row.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, action. Sarah, I want to read a scripture. I'll pick up my notes and read a scripture. It's not the only passage that mention sling stones, but listen to this. This is 2 Chronicles 26. And I think we need to recognize this was part of ancient armies because a sling stone can actually go farther than a bow and arrow. And so listen to this. This is Uzziah. He had a well-trained army. Uzziah provided shields, spears, helmets, coats of armor, bows, and sling stones for the entire army.
Oh, wow, so they can do some damage.
They could do some damage with those sling stones, absolutely. You don't have to have just bows and arrows. Yeah, you don't picture that maybe with ancient armies coming along with men with all these slings, but they were here. They were here. Okay, now, Sarah, I could share a number of lessons related to this site, but I want to share this one that I think is important.
Okay.
Years ago, I would write down some of the ridiculous headlines I would see the National Enquirer, some of those other weekly publications that just reported silliness. Let me give you an example, okay? I wrote some down here. Severed leg hops to hospital. Or mini mermaid found in tuna sandwich. Or hubby's bad breath kills wife. It was the cause of death, pure and simple, says doctor. Or chocoholic mom gives birth to sugar-coated baby.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have this one. I don't know if our best-looking cameraman in America can see it or not, but there's a skull that's the size of a large building. This is Goliath's skull, discovered here.
I see.
And there's a great big excavator, caterpillar excavator, not nearly as large, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when we believe silliness, it hurts. I think Christians, as I have said more than once on this trip, put everything to the test. It's God's command. Put everything to the test. Hold to that which is good.
Okay.
Christians sometimes get duped.
Yeah.
I've seen it over and over. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. It hurts our testimony when we fall for silliness.
That's true. Like this morning.
Yeah, like this morning. Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
Well, let's go find that big Goliath skull.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now, they are very